Hello and welcome to No Culty Vibes. I'm your host, Cassie Marie, and in this video, we are going to be talking about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, the press tour that Jada is currently on, talking about her new memoir, Worthy, the criticism that she's gotten about her and Will's marriage, her comments about their marriage or separation, and what Scientology has to do with all of this. We're going to look at one of my TikToks, talk a little bit about some of my TikTok comments. But first, really quickly, if you are new here, I am a former cult hopper, an artist, and a content creator. I joined an MLM when I was 18 years old, and then I joined a really culty church where I learned how to be a Christian psychic. And then I got into the business coaching industry, which is also super culty, and had a somewhat abusive relationship with a business coach. And I started watching cult documentaries, starting with Leah Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath, started deconstructing, getting back into art, all of those things, and started making content about cults because it was so fascinating and I was learning so much about a lot of the things that I was into. And I am currently hosting a cult documentary club, like a book club, but with documentaries, where if you're deconstructing or you're super interested in cults, we watch these documentaries and get together once a month to discuss them. I have spots available on Thursdays and on Sundays, and spots are limited. So if you're interested, I have them linked in the description below. You can check out all of the information, find where to ask me questions, and see if this is something that you might want to be a part of. So, the Will and Jada of it all, though. Oh, and like and subscribe if you're interested in cults, Scientology, celebrities, celebrity cult members. All of those things are things that I talk about. So stick around to see more of that content. So we're going to be talking about Will and Jada today. Jada has been on somewhat of a press tour, like I said earlier, for her memoir coming out called Worthy. And she talks a lot about the Chris Rock, Will Smith situation when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and it was like this whole thing. And she said that she was really surprised to hear Will Smith call her his wife because they allegedly had been separated since 2016. And people are laying in to Jada about this. If you're on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen all of the things going on, all the things that people have said. But I got a couple of comments on my TikToks talking about them, asking does Scientology have anything to do with this? Somebody even asked if Jada Pinkett Smith is maybe fair gaming Will because maybe she's in Scientology and he's not. I don't think that is the case because fair gaming is something that Scientology does to critics of Scientology, and they will get Scientologists to do that, but it's something that they only do if someone is actively condemning Scientology and speaking out about it, which Will Smith and Jada definitely don't. And usually, like, wives won't fair game their spouses if they're having issues. Like, it's very much a Scientology organization thing, it's an L. Ron Hubbard policy. So, that's not what is going on. And I don't think Scientology really has anything to do with this, with the separation or anything. But the way that Jada talks about things is really weird. So if you're unaware, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith have long time been rumored to be Scientologists, but they have always denied it. They have always said that they have nothing to do with Scientology, and they don't know why people say that they do, even though they've donated a ton of money to Scientology. They started a school a number of years ago that was based on Scientology teachings and L. Ron Hubbard writings and tech, and they were often seen at Scientology Celebrity Center. They were friends with Scientologists. I have a TikTok video that I made about this that I'm going to watch with you guys to give you the quick and fast and dirty version of the Will and Jada and the Scientology of it all. So
About
let
it.
me see.
And she said
Oh, I'm like in the middle of it.
to all be severed at this point. So the controversy started when Liam
high points and fit it under this 3 minutes, but we're going to talk about the ties that they had to Scientology and how they appear to all be severed at this point. So the controversy started when Leah Remini left Scientology and wrote her memoir about it. And this TikTok has some like weird sound things going on. So if you're listening and you're like, what's that noise? It's part of the TikTok. I don't know what happened. She said that Will and Jada were Scientologists. She said she saw Jada at Scientology's Celebrity Center really often, more so than Will. And she's described a particularly weird party at Tom Cruise's house where there was a weird game of hide and seek that Will and Jada did not like how Leah described it. And Jada came out vehemently denying that they were ever Scientologists and said things like, we just believe in, we like to explore all different faiths, all different religions, we donate to all different kinds of things, but we are not officially Scientologists. A lot of people call them out and really question it because back in like 2006, 2007, 2008, they donated a lot of money to Scientology charities, like to the tune of $50,000, $70,000, I think over $100,000 one of those years. And to be fair and balanced, they did donate to like Christian charities and other religious organizations as well. It wasn't just Scientology. They also started a private school and donated over $1 million of their own funds to this like alternative education school. And a lot of it was based on Scientology teachings, L. Ron Hubbard teachings, and they hired a lot of Scientologists to be on staff. I'm sorry, this picture of Tom Cruise is killing me. This article talks about how they have lunch and are close to a lot of Scientology celebrities like Jenna Elfman and Tom Cruise. But if you look up Scientology, you can search any celebrity or any person Scientology service completions online. And if you look up Will and Jada, apparently there aren't any. Now, it would be highly unlikely that someone would be able to donate this kind of money to Scientology and attend Celebrity Center and be so close to Tom Cruise without taking any of the Scientology courses, but Will and Jada say they never have. After a little bit of feuding back and forth online, Leah Remini actually went on Red Table Talk with Jada to hash out all the Scientology issues. You can go search it online. It was a really good conversation. And in this Red Table Talk, Jada talked about how she really doesn't want anything to do with Scientology, and she really didn't have anything to do with Scientology, which is a big deal in the Scientology world. You would get in big trouble for that if you were in. So that suggests that she's really not. So much more to say. It needs a much deeper dive. At least they seem to be totally out now. Let me know what you think in the. Okay, so that's kind of the quick version of the history of Will and Jada and Scientology. Now, when I was talking about them in regards to Jada being weird with her press tour about this, somebody commented on my TikTok and said that their sister's ex-boyfriend, so take this with a grain of salt. This is like, I know someone who knows someone, but they said that their sister's ex-boyfriend filmed that Red Table Talk episode that Jada did with Leah Remini. And this person was like, oh, Will and Jada are 100% Scientologists, and it's just something that they deny. And they said that they have like L. Ron Hubbard's full library of not only course books, but even L. Ron Hubbard, like the sci-fi novels that he wrote before he wrote a lot of the Scientology tech and course books, but they have a full library. And it reminded me of Scientology in the Aftermath when Leah went through all of the books that Scientologists are required to have if they're on course and if they're studying. So again, they say they've never taken courses and they were never official members, yet they started a Scientology school and they have all of these books like any good Scientologist would. I still stand by the fact that I don't think they would be able to come out and like say have Leah Remini on their show if they were Scientologists, because David Miscavige hates Leah so much. Like, I just don't think that they would be able to do that. I think Jada probably has been a member of several cults. She just strikes me as a very culty person. And when she went on the Today Show this morning, she was talking about how she was trying to clarify that her and Will are now living together. She didn't really say living together. She said that it seemed to have been miscommunicated that they were separated, and her and Will, she didn't like when Hoda said are in a marriage. She said they are in a life partnership and they are on a healing path to reconciling, and they're this great love of each other's life and blah, blah, blah. She said that they had blocks back at the time that they got separated and decided to live totally independent lives. And they were, what did she say? They were in an open marriage. She didn't want to file for divorce. And the way that she talked about it just sounded very like self-helpy, very new agey, very spiritual. And that's what Jada says she is. She says that she's been part of a lot of different spiritual beliefs, religious beliefs. She's into it all. And Jada herself, to me, just sounds culty. So I found the way that she was speaking very interesting. But as far as being part of Scientology, I don't know how she could and still like have Leah on her show. Lots of people have lots of things to say about it. Somebody else commented on another video, another TikTok I made about it, and said that let me find it. Let me find it for you guys. I hate dead air when I'm live, but sometimes I just don't have everything prepared. I'm used to making TikTok videos where I can like pause and restart and it all fits together seamlessly. So, still getting used to the YouTube lives. Where was it? Oh, someone called her a cosplay psychologist. And this person was like, "Oh, I thought that was so fitting." That would be so fitting for a Scientologist because Scientologists hate psychology, but it's like the language and like the tech and the auditing is all very like cosplaying psychologists. Like it's kind of like therapy, but not if you call it that. Like they really hate it. But I thought that comment was extremely hilarious. So I want to know what you guys think about Will and Jada and Scientology and what she's had to say about her separation. Also, I wondered if it was kind of culty that they were separated but didn't want to officially get divorced and that they were kind of in an open marriage, but they keep changing the narrative around what that was and what that looks like. And I was like, is that culty? Does that have anything to do with Scientology? But from what I understand, Scientology doesn't care if you get divorced. Like Scientologists get divorced all the time. Sea Org members get divorced all the time. They do, however, believe that you shouldn't have relations outside of marriage. And that's often, from what I understand, why people get divorced and get remarried. But like, it's not a big deal. They want you to be married in order to have special intimate time, but they don't care. Like, if you want to do that with someone else, you can just get divorced and do that with someone else. So I don't know. Maybe they're part of a different cult. Maybe they're cult hoppers. Maybe Will and Jada are cult hoppers, and that's why they're so weird about all this stuff. I do think there's more to be learned here. I think this is interesting. Also, Will made a statement because people are criticizing Jada so much. I guess people wanted to hear from Will, like, did you know that you guys have been separated since 2016, even though you're not legally divorced? So he made a statement yesterday. I think this came out. What does it say? In an email to the New York Times, Smith expressed that Pinkett Smith's revelations about their marriage in her memoir woke him up. He realized she had lived a life more on the edge and that she is more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he'd understood. When you've been with someone for more than half your life, a sort of emotional blindness sets in, Smith wrote, and you can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties. I don't I don't know if that has anything to do about anything. I don't know, like that's not him saying, "Oh yeah, we were separated," or "No, we weren't. I don't know what she's talking about." That also sounds like cult speak, like word salad. I don't know what meaning we're supposed to glean from that. But anyway, what do you guys think about the situation? Do you think they're Scientologists? Do you think they were Scientologists and aren't anymore? What do you think that has to do with this? I am going to ask my ex Scientology friends what they think about Jada and the language that she uses and what role that belief system might play in some of her wording and some of the things that she chooses to say. But from what I know about Scientology, which I've been studying for a little while, and from what I know about cults, I think Will and Jada are even just like a little bit too odd to be Scientologists. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like I said, comment, let me know what you think. That's all I have for this video, and I will see you guys next time on No Culty Vibes. Bye.